Hello, everybody. This is Nameless One, and I am here tonight with Ballistic, Cameo,
Hello.
Paige, Namik, Fair, Sawtooth, and
Hi.
Ellis will be joining us a bit later. Tonight we're going to be continuing the Peacemakers campaign. If I could get somebody to do a quick recap.
What did happen last session?
Second day in, and I lost my faith in them.
Well, that was one thing that happened last session.
There was the we were trying to break into the squid library unsuccessfully. And because we needed a key card, and in order to get a key card, you have to submit all of your brain basically and all of your memories to the librarian or whatever. There's got to be some helpful knowledge in there, probably pertaining to Sol Tenebris and how we might be able to take him down.
There was the potential of a spell that could just... a single spell that could defeat him. That is potentially in this school.
Yeah.
Yes, but we can't possibly get there without the library card unless we do some super sneaks, which we might have to. But there's no way we can submit our brains to the scan, because if they have a copy of all of our memories, they'll be on to us and know that we're trying to take down everything they know and love.
Have we tried pleading the fifth yet?
Do they have the fifth? I don't think they do. Oh, I don't know. Let's see.
I don't think the Fifth Amendment applies to ponies.
When we left off, we went back to the church place. I picked up a book from there, so I could teleport back there at any point. So I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Okay. And
Did I miss anything?
I'm pretty sure that was all.
That was the main thing. I know there's another thing with the buildings having some visual magic around it, and Sawtooth having his true sight squid eye was able to discern the right building to enter, and he had to convince everyone to join, including Staghorn, who was never really convinced but just sort of went with the crowd. That happened too.
Yes, so you guys are back in the church, VIPs and all. Everybody's just at this point. Everybody's just kind of spread out around the church, doing whatever they're doing. I also just realized that we lost a cameo, and we kind of need a cameo for this.
Is poor timing.
Come back, Cameo, we need you.
So
Let's see. Alright, so, we didn't take any of the VIPs with us to the library, did we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, you took all three of them.
Oh, okay. So there's nothing really to report. But I would like... okay, so Sawtooth walks up to Shadowfire and tells him if there's any way we can get around the mind scan and leave out memories so that we can get a library card.
So actually, Gaster would have more information on that for you.
Oh, okay, thanks. So Sawtooth goes over and says, "Hey, Gaster, is there any way we could block our memories so we could do a brain scan and get a library card? Because having fun is hard without them, I've heard."
Gaster looks at you and asks, "So are you an Illithid?"
Oh, what?
The octopus-faced creatures. They are called Illithids, and unless you are of similar ability in psionic, the use of psionics, I doubt you are going to be able to hide much from them.
So, seeing as I don't know what that means, I'm probably not in similar ability. But yes, I do have the squid eye that might help somehow, maybe.
I don't think
squid
being
eyes
able to
will
see.
help.
I don't think seeing things and being able to think things are the same.
True.
Gaster basically confirms what Paige says by telling you that unless you can rip somebody's mind apart with your own, you're not on a comparable level to a Illithid.
Oh,
Ah,
I've never tried.
He also points out that
Comparable level with the Lithid.
what was that?
He's looking at casters. Are you on a comparable level with an Illithid?
Not in Ionic specifically, though I do have several spells that I use in an attempt to defend from it. And on top of being undead, I don't really have to worry as much about it.
Would you be able to cast one of those spells on one of us?
Oh.
Considering one of those spells is basically an equivalent of brain death, then I would say probably not.
Oh, wait. A better solution here. If you were able to, wait, would you be able to go through and get a library card?
probably not.
He nods to Solar Scripture and says, I doubt it. Considering that they cannot retrieve the memories from me easily, then I doubt they will let me in. With me not already having one.
I suppose it'd be the same for you too, right, Shadowfire?
Shadowfire kind of looks sideways at Gaster before saying, I'm not letting one of those things dig around in my brain.
Okay, so that plan is out. So we need some way. I wonder if we could steal a library card from someone who already has it.
We could always rough and tumble it.
What is that supposed to mean?
He made someone up for it.
Given, I don't feel like getting my mind flayed.
Yeah, neither do I. That would suck. I would hate that.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Shadowfire on that.
I mean, we could always do the barbarian thing.
Hey, I like this guy.
What? Can you be more specific, please?
Barbarian?
Leo is just face palming like, how aren't you getting this?
Do the barbarian? We're talking about super squid boys that can grip apart your mind. We can't just run in there with a bunch of weapons and maul our way through.
Last I seen, they were all scholars and bookworms.
Gaster raises his hoof and says, looks can be deceiving.
Yes. Even if they weren't physically all that, once they were alert to the danger, they could instantly melt our brains, just all of us, in a moment. That is not a good idea. We should not just run in there with weapons blazing.
I have the question, what happens if we give them our thoughts? How long would it have to actually go through all of them?
I would worry instantaneous, boom. Before we even get a card, they're like, oh, wait a second, these are the Peacemakers. And it'd be over for us, That would suck!
I don't know what happened to Cameo. This is making things mildly awkward.
Yeah, where the heck?
Yeah, kind of need them.
What would Staghorn say in this situation?
We're all idiots.
Yeah, probably.
True. What else what useful thing would Staghorn say? Let's see.
You're all idiots.
Hold on. Cameo is attempting to communicate.
I think it's trying to communicate. Wait, on what?
The stream.
In DM? Oh, stream?
Oh, the stream! Oh, interactive, I love it.
Interactive gameplay, yes. That's definitely the word.
I am referring to the stream out of character. Love it. I would like to specify. Oh my gosh! Oh no! Okay.
I don't know
What am I missing? I'm not watching this stream.
Apparently, Cameo Discord is not letting her into her account.
Wonderful
And
timing.
where I don't mind the viewership, it's kind of awkward that one of my players cannot play, essentially.
Yeah, especially considering.
Especially this session.
Yeah, that sucks.
It's like the one session, like, it really was needed.
I mean,
Hmm. Well, maybe we can get like a telepathic link to Staghorn.
Hold on, we're trying to sort this out
Okay.
because it'll cause more than just issues with like not being able to communicate with her, or like for this moment, it's like
Well, to any of the viewers, I invite you to like, leave a comment on the stream, and subscribe to the Nameless One's channel.
also, keep drink water. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Oh yeah.
Also,
Stay
we'll need to clip Saw saying that just so we can spread around. Like, we got Sawtooth's, we got
he
Sawtooth
said that
to...
before.
official endorsement.
Yes.
Well, now we know, like, now we can clip it and then put on Equestria Daily.
I wouldn't be surprised if our collab ended up on EQD because of like they
That
seem
would
to
be-
really like his videos.
That would be
That
awesome.
would be really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Oops. You leaked spoilers. Oh no.
We didn't say what it's about. We've kind of told people that it's a thing that is happening, but like what it's about is for them to find out when they watch it.
Ah yes. Snips and Snails. Dark Secret. A wonderful topic. Oh no, I shouldn't have said that out loud. What have I done?
Yeah, I don't think anybody's falling for that one if they know
The
anything
true
about my channel.
ruler, the true rulers of Equestria, the two most incompetent childs.
Oh yes.
Childs. Being children.
Pulling the strings behind the scenes. Snips and Snails. More than meets the eye. But hey.
Just a theory.
Of
A
course,
game theory.
It's for horses.
see.
I don't know. That was just off the top of my head. I was trying to think the dumbest theory I could think of. Like, Celestia has been Grogor this whole time. I did in one video.
That would that would be a little outlandish.
Hey, you're 4 subs away from 400 subscribers.
Yeah.
Hey, someone listening right now should absolutely subscribe. Be the 400th subscriber.
There we go. Now I'm back.
Wait, who's back?
I died for a second.
Oh, congrats on the resurrection.
I can't tell if she's taking my advice or not,
Hopefully.
because it should allow her to make an alternate account until she can figure out what the hell happened to her other one.
To the actual account, yeah. And you can just like quickly add her to the group, right?
Yeah, she just has to add me as a friend.
Okay.
You know, the good thing about keeping a consistent name is it's not hard to figure out which one is me.
You know,
Oh, definitely.
one nice thing about the editing thing that we've been doing is all of this won't exist in the future. Like, for future viewers when this gets cut and clipped.
Oh.
Yeah,
I mean,
it'll be clean.
original.
It'll just be cleaned up to the essentials.
Maybe add a timestamp in the description for when things really kick off. Once everyone's here.
This is really like bad timing though on Discord's part.
Yeah.
It's like, I know what you're about to do, and I know you're about to make this so much better than it was before, so I'm gonna ruin it.
know you were supposed to do something important today.
That's exactly how it works. And hey, in the meantime, everyone hanging out on stream with us for watching now.
Drink some water. Just drink Just drink it.
I
Just
promise we
now.
have something big planned for today, but a major part of that is currently locked out of her account.
Just
One
hang
of
out
the two
have a good time.
most important, like the two most important people for this to work, just one of them just had to have problems with Discord. Discord had to have problems with her.
Technical difficulties.
No,
Difficulties.
Derpiculties.
We could always force other ways to make things happen, but
Force
It
one.
won't feel as natural.
It wouldn't feel, yeah, the reason it was planned the way it was is because it would feel the most natural. So we're best off waiting, because otherwise it's either going to feel forced or the moment won't hit the same.
Yeah.
Right.
Trust me, I am the storyteller here.
Yeah. And
wait, I thought the storyteller was a mare, though.
wait, what?
So, Stod has written a story
Little,
before, if you would like to share it with us.
Little drop there, guys. If you want to know what the storyteller is, go check out the Lost Memories campaign.
But not right now, because we need the viewers, please.
Yeah, right now.
Unless you can do a world YouTube videos.
If you leave now, if you leave now, Cameo is going to end up showing up, and you're going to miss everything that's important for this.
Oh, I didn't mention ring the bell too. Also ring the bell.
Yes,
I
because
forgot.
otherwise YouTube won't tell you anything.
Yes. The subscribe button is almost useless.
See.
Other than
Help
giving
if I
you
do
subscribers and making your channel
Something
grow.
else.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go
it's a
ahead
number.
and
I
turn
was
on the
exact-
background music too. Just give everybody something to listen to while we wait for this to sort itself out.
Oh yes. Elevator music.
It's a little more dramatic than elevator music, thank you.
Well,
I think the owlbear music idea is great to play.
or for the technical difficulties moment, it'd be fitting.
I actually need to find that image again because I haven't been able to use it since I reset my computer twice, actually.
Hmm.
I just
Very
noticed
curious.
images. See if there's... Oh no, it's just in there. Same as my YouTube and 6s.
Yes.
It's edgy.
It's actually a Undertale reference. Because the fun value for Gaster, and I just never actually changed it because it still fits.
a shirt?
Yeah.
The fun value for Gaster was 666.
It was only 66.
Oh,
But
Yes,
he-
that's
right. The fun values are only 2-digit, aren't they?
I
Are they
think
all people, or are there any 3 digits?
There are 3-digit ones, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, with the is there indeed.
Yes, all capitals. At the beginning, too. In
First, I
spaces.
guess that.
Capital T, capital N, capital O.
What? Oh, with some other letters in between there.
And do the invite.
I don't think I'm following you. I am?
Cameo. Where did you go?
Oh.
Has anyone seen Staghorn? She's sort of like vanished.
Oh, shut up.
And you mean he?
Oh yeah, he right.
No, he's right over there. He just kind of went poo brain.
Yeah,
Oh,
that is
yes.
actually a canonical thing within the universe. If somebody is not there, they go poo brain.
I imagine we just look over and
They're
see,
AFK.
like, eyes glazed and, like, drooling, just like,
Completely still, like not even breathing, just standing in place, just AFK.
Let's see. Hold on, I am working on getting through the rolls.
Recovering.
Sure.
See, I think that should be all. Oh yeah, these two. I'm not sure what Discord just did, but that was weird. Welcome back.
I'm not poo brained. It's more like I am trying to understand your stupidity right now.
What?
I don't know.
Literally,
That
just-
hit more like a sudden seizure.
What?
Oh my fucking
What
god.
stupidity? I don't. What have we literally? What have we done? We have done nothing.
Exactly. Okay,
Oh.
so
Stuff usually.
we're gonna go ahead and keep moving now that we have recovered our wayward cleric.
Pillow.
Welcome back. It's good to have you.
It's a pillow.
I just died in the inside a bit too much.
That was frustrating. Oh my gosh.
You died so hard on the inside, you died on the outside too. Don't do that again.
Yes.
In all seriousness, though, you may want to talk to the Discord help desk after this.
Oof.
Yeah.
But let's get started.
It's a way to start a session.
All right.
Yes. Now that we are 15 minutes in, 20 minutes in. Let's
20 minutes
actually
in.
get started.
All right.
So, like I said,
Oh no,
everybody.
I won't be here super long.
Yes, we are aware. You have said so before. Shush. Let me talk. Just so you know what you missed, Cameo, the two asked some questions about the illithids. Basically, got told they brain melt, and that Gaster is not going to do it for them because Gaster is undead and he had no brain.
So we're gonna have trouble getting the library part. We went through some other ideas, like just running in there with weapons, and I said that was a bad idea, and the VIPs agreed with me because I'm smart. What else do we miss?
Shadowfire said no, he's not getting his brain probed.
Yes. So basically, back to square one. We have no ideas on how to get in the library.
So,
And I'm assuming Lena's also no brain probe.
Literally just lets me go. I have the least memories, and it's not that hard to hold back memories or to alter them. You guys are acting as if that's impossible.
Gaster does interject and says it is hard to hold back against an illithid whose entire race revolves around psionics. It would be less difficult if it was just someone who learned psionics, but they're innately psionic.
Right. I wonder if someone off the street and just like hire someone who has nothing to do with us, just to quick and dirty get it through.
But
and then
I am going to say that you guys are taking moments to think quietly to yourselves, Sawtooth. And we're going to let Cameo take it from here.
Alright.
This just... I'll step out for a moment, and I'm collecting some rocks. Although it doesn't seem like it, I'm getting very specific ones. Some of them are different colors. Some of them are smoother than others. And then when I come back in, I'm still just looking at the group. It's just so easy to just not see them as the Peacemakers. To just see the Peacemakers as just this stupid fairy tale. And you know what? I guess it'll just be easier for me to go on. There's no attachment here. Everything is just so distorted. I could just see them as nothing but kids, just not knowing what they're doing. Any story I heard is just some over-glorified roleplay, them playing with their plushies when they say that they beat up the bad guy. But with that in mind, my attention draws to Quillian. Kids. He is literally the child of the group. The actual child.
So, what is Quillian doing at said moment?
a bit distracted at the moment, like just playing with some rocks and rolling them around on the ground. Not really thinking or noticing anything that's going on around him.
So, you've got that, instead of the 1,000-yard stare, you've got the 100,000-yard stare.
Yes.
A literal child. It's so easy just to separate him from everything, but he's clearly part of all of it. And I look at him and some questions come into my mind. And I know there is only one way to get the answers. Hey, Quillian.
Huh? What?
Mind if we talk for a bit?
Oh, sure, I love talking. Talking is just the best.
Alright, grab your locks and come with me.
Grab my locks? Like my hair locks or my metal locks?
Rocks. The rocks you're playing with. Grab
Oh,
them.
rock, sorry. I can't understand a single thing you're saying. Okay. I pick up the rocks and follow after Stackhorn.
We actually get to a much farther off end where it's a lot more quieter. Less thoughts around. And
So- The appropriate spot that you would be looking for is actually near the statue of the Weeping Alicorn.
I put the rocks I have into different piles, kind of around Quillian, but making sure he isn't necessarily trapped.
I think I lost one of mine.
Here, have this one.
Aw, thank you.
I want to ask you some questions, child.
Ooh, that's a first.
How is this a first for you?
What do you mean? It's a first being asked questions for once instead of having to ask them.
People don't ask you questions?
No, I mean, like, I just like talking so much, so, I mean, it's hard for other people to get really a word in, but, like, I mean, it's also weird because, like, I mean, it's, like, so... it's weird because, like, it's just really lonely sometimes because, like, sometimes, I mean, like, you know, where, like, back in middle school, like, people didn't really talk to me that much, so, like, I just didn't really talk much, so I just didn't ask... no one really asked me a question, I was just sort of there, I didn't really have that many friends. So that means, like, I sort of was lonely. I didn't really have anyone to really be there for me. And so I was like, whenever I heard about, like, how Pinkie Pie was, I just thought, like, hey, why don't I just be her? Then people will like me for once. And when I did that, I thought, wow, people might be my friend finally, and I won't be alone for once. So I also heard about some new ponies in town, and they were the Peacemakers, and like you, I had heard about them, and I decided, hey, I want to be friends with them, I would really like to meet them, and so I really started to like them, and I wanted to follow them, but after following them, I finally was able to join, but like, I tried my best to be like Pinkie Pie, because people really like to be with Pinkie Pie, and when people don't like to be with me because I'm just so quiet and shy, then I should be more like Pinkie Pie. But when I was like Pinkie Pie, the people still didn't like me. Why don't they like me? Why don't people like me? Why do they hate me? Why don't they want to be my friend? Why am I always such a loner? Why do I have to be alone all the time? Why?
When I hear this, I stop behind him. I hold my head down for a moment as memories of what was happening in the war with back in the fields, the skies, and remembering some of my old friends. And realizing he may be a kid, but he isn't much different than most of the people I have met. They want to make a mark.
For the rest of the party, you guys are also able to hear what you initially would have thought was going to be a Quillian rant and you instead hear this outpouring of emotions from someone that you really didn't see that coming from.
Leo, hearing this, is going to walk over and, stopping in front of Quillian, just kind of drop back on his haunches to be at level with him. And just kind of lean in and grab him, just in a hug. It kind of looks like there's a shimmer at the edge of his eyes. Just says, Quillian, you are not alone anymore.
So Quillian decides to respond with not really being able to decide anything, just having an outpour, like you said. But I can't. I just want everyone to be happy. I don't want anyone to feel as alone as I did, but no matter what I do, I can't make people like me. I can't make people laugh. I just want people to. I just want my friends to be happy, so they won't leave me. I don't want them to leave me, so I have to be happy.
Quillian.
Leo is shushing you. Says, Quillian, you don't need to try to be someone you're not. You don't need to try to make us your friends. We are all here to support each other, and in these dark times, we will do what we can to stick together. I am very sorry for the way I've been treating you. It was very inconsiderate, and I can't believe the torment we must have been putting you through. I am so very sorry.
I really liked Crimson, you know. They were here right before you got here, but they're the first person I really thought I could be friends with, and then but then they just got transported, and they were replaced by someone that I'm sorry, but they were just replaced with someone that was even worse than the others.
I make this promise to you now. I will do everything in my power to keep you safe and not let you be lonely again. I cannot make a promise that I will be like Quillian you knew, like this person you knew before, but I will try to be a friend to you.
Quillian can't really respond. He just sort of breaks down crying into Leo's shoulders. Thank you, Casper.
At that, Leo is going to just kind of also lean into Quillian. At this point, he's going to just basically go limp into the normal Poograin mind he's commonly been seen in since he joined the party.
I take that's you having to go now?
Yes, it is.
Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week.
It's good to have you.
Okay, give me just a sec.
Okay, so at this point, Sawtooth trots up to Quillian and sits down next to him and says, Quillian, what makes you think that I hate you? That any of us hate you?
Quillian just deadpans him.
Oh my god, Quillian. How do I say this? But you have helped us get through this terrible, terrible time. You have brought this levity and lightheartedness to the group that no one else really has done so far. It's really incredible. I couldn't help but overhear what you were saying about not having any friends, and I went through something similar. as a hatchling in the changeling hive, all I had were broodmates. It was everyone for themselves, and even the queen was distant. She looked after the whole, but not really us as individuals. And even when I moved to Ponyville, I still kept to myself, afraid that if I opened up, no one would understand me. I never really had any friends or anyone I could be myself to. But then Sol Tenebris happened, and somehow, when all else turned upside down, something turned right side up. I found something that I had always been missing. A family. People I can depend on. I know we'd pick jokes and tease you a little here and there, but it's out of affection, at least speaking for myself. Quillian, your lightheartedness, Solar's kindness, Fair's quiet stubbornness, Cloud's strength and wisdom, Leo's grumpiness, Staghorn, well, I don't really know him well enough, but the rest of you all have something I can depend on, and now more than ever, that's so important. Please don't think that we just brush you off. It might seem like that sometimes, but your presence is so important to us, and it really helps me feel this sense of connection that I've never had before. Thank you so much for just being yourself. Don't feel like you have to put on a show for us. Just you're enough. You are as you are. Just you don't have to try. It's okay. We're a family, Quillian. We're a family at this point. We're in this together. We're stuck in this situation together, but I think we've grown together at the same time. I think there's a really strong unity that we need to hold on to. We need to grow and nurture. So, I just want to thank you, Quillian. You mean a lot to all of us.
Okay.
He doesn't know how to respond.
Give me just a second. Okay. Cammy, you can go ahead. Go next again.
I see this, and I don't actually say anything. There is one rock in particular that I pick up, and I walk past to the other side of the Weeping Alicorn, and I begin, I guess you could say decorating the rock. I am doing the metal wiring. However, there's a specific pattern I am putting on the rock. And while it, by itself, it means nothing, when I place the rocks with the other, once I'm done, the specific pattern that it all makes together means broken, but not useless. I sit in front of them, knowing that they probably don't know any of this. But having all those memories of the air, remembering everything that was going on, these people aren't as stupid as I thought. They are just lost like the rest of us. But they'll find their way. And I can't say anything else to them.
Okay.
So, Quillian picks himself up and begins to walk over to Paige, and he bows his head down all the way to the ground and says, I'm really sorry about Celestia. She made her sister, her own sister, stay up trapped on the moon alone for 1,000 years. no contact with anyone. And that, it just seems like the cruelest thing that's ever happened. And then I hear how she did the same thing, basically, with Sombra and with Discord and with a whole bunch of different villains. Even if they were villains, they didn't deserve isolation and for 1,000 years, and just can't continue.
You see the telltale signs of me shifting into the nightmare form.
Okay.
As I say, I'm sorry. I disappear in front of you.
Okay. And before I do the next part, because if it's what I believe Paige just did, I have things to describe to Paige that I'm going to describe to everybody. But anybody else have anything they would like to say? I'm going to take the silence as a probably not, or is Fair going to say something? I see somebody is having connectivity issues. Can you hear us now, Fair?
Hello.
There you go. We can hear you.
Okay. Qualifier does as usual and looks stoically towards Quillian. He doesn't say anything, but just gives a simple nod.
Okay. So, for you guys, at this point, the day is kind of hitting its end. Because despite it being a black sun, you can still see the sun right now through the barrier, and it is starting to set. Would you like to continue back to the tavern?
I actually want to say one last thing to Quillian before we head out.
Okay.
So I lift my head back up to look at Quillian, and I say, if you're ever feeling that way again, like you feel left out or not important, just talk to me about it, because I've been there, and I want to make sure that you feel as important as any of the rest of us. I'm always down, always available if you want to talk. Just let me know, okay? I'm here for you, buddy.
You Sawtooth.
Of course.
Okay, and I'm assuming you guys go to the dry dock again now?
Sure.
Okay. For Paige, as you banish yourself, you find yourself in a fairly empty space. Like, there's something solid beneath you, or at least that's what it seems like, but you don't really see anything. It's a vast, empty nothingness, with now it's kind of a starry, nebulous background to it, and it's pretty to look at it all, but there's a total lack of even the sound of stirring air. Absolutely nothing seems to be here or moving or any indication that there was ever anything that was here.
Fall down to my haunches and just lightly cry. This is what I've been putting him through.
And with that, as you're doing that, your spell ends and you're back in the space that you were previously in the church. Your friends have already moved out, and you see that it's nighttime. And as you were getting ready to stand up, you hear a very familiar voice as Luna steps seemingly out of nowhere. Although on closer inspection you realize it is more or less just an illusion, as she says, "And now you understand."
I do.
She, the illusion places its forehead against yours and says, "You know what you must do?"
I do.
And with that, she nods and vanishes.
At this point, I lay my head down and dreamwalk for the first time.
So it's late enough at this point that the party has already gone and retired for the night. And as you step through, you see an entirely different landscape. The world that you were previously standing in has shifted and changed. And while there is an untold amount of darkness around you, you do see several shining points of light, which you quickly recognize to be your friends. You can decide whether you want to speak to all of them or just one of them. You just let me know which one.
I beeline towards Quillian.
Okay. What is Quillian's current dream?
His current dream right now, is... Dang it, I didn't know I was supposed to think of something like this. His dream is, basically just, it's just, a grassy field near Ponyville with Cloudsdale flying above it. And Quillian is just walking through it.
I observe your dream for a little bit. Just slightly out of view.
So, as you watch, Quillian just walks around until he finds a bookcase. And he takes a book and just sits down and starts reading.
As I start to walk towards you. What's you reading?
Oh. I guess I should have expected this, from, you know, new cleric of Luna, but I didn't know you could walk in dreams. Anyways, it's Book of Memories, actually. And, hey, by the way, will I remember any of this? Because, like, dreams are weird, right? Like, will I remember?
Yes and no.
I'm gonna say that you're not entirely sure either, with this being a new concept for you.
I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Kind of weird, right? Someone who talks so much can't have... Someone who talks so much, his dream is just peaceful and with some books.
Everyone's dream's going to be different. But everyone dreams of excitement. Especially considering what's going on right now. So having a peaceful dream is nice, isn't it?
Is very nice. It's nice to just relax every once in a while. Even though I do love hanging with everyone, it is good to just be alone.
Remember, you're not always alone.
You know, I mean, like, in the peaceful alone kind of way. Like, alone in a room. So what are you doing here? Not that I'm complaining.
To say I'm sorry.
Sorry for what?
For every time I've banished you.
while I do understand that it wasn't something I enjoyed, it, to be honest, was awful and one of the worst things I've ever had done to me. It's something I understand. If you hadn't done that, it might have gotten worse for you and for the party, and you saw that it was a way to do it harmlessly and painlessly for you. You thought it was, at least, and you had no idea what was going on.
It's not my place to do something like that to someone.
You thought it was better than getting bashed over the head. I didn't. It's not your fault.
I give you a hug before when I break away. You feel a weight around your neck that wasn't there before.
Gwen looks down to see what is.
It's the holy symbol that I was carrying around since I became a cleric of Luna.
What's that mean?
It's yours.
I mean, yeah, Luna is the best princess, obviously, but, like, what does it do?
Let me cut in here. It's more of a symbolic thing right now. It's kind of that, like, apology, more of like a, like, it's their way of trying to say sorry without, like,
It is my deepest connection to Luna.
Yes.
Like, really important for you to, like, keep, you know? Quillen just, like, gestures wildly around.
It's my first step to redeeming myself.
I understand that, but, like, wasn't the last time that you, like, did something that made your, like, goddess angry, it made you explode? Like, explode?
She's not angry with me.
Oh, well, that's good, because I really can't handle the cold that well.
Okay, that one was good. Okay, so, Paige, are you going to take this time to step out of that dream? Are you going to anyone else's, or is that all that you're...
I think I'll just spend my time in the dreamscape, more so than enter another one's dream.
Okay. So, I want you to go ahead and roll perception. You can do it through the Discord bot.
Perception is just +1 for me. Oh, it's +5.
Okay. So, you, without stepping into a dreams, you can see them sort of like a convex mirror. You can see into them still. So as you make your way through the dreamscape, you see your friends. They're having their dreams, whether nightmares or otherwise. You walk past the VIPs. They are also, Lena's having a dream of herself in a human shape, with another that looks similar to her, but at the same time very different. They're sitting under a tree with black apples. As you pass by Gaster, he's standing in front of a lecture hall, teaching dozens of creatures of varying, like, everywhere from humans to, like, what look like machines to various types of beings that you don't recognize. And Shadowfire is currently standing in a standoff between himself and another version of himself. Unlike the other two, though, it's almost as if he knows you're there. As soon as you get a glimpse of it, it vanishes in a deeper cloud of darkness. As you step out of the dry dock into like the greater part of the city, you see dreams of from everything to kobolds just having a simple meal to undead dreaming of powerful places and things that they could be doing. You actually stumble across Gary's dream at one point, and he's dreaming of an individual who appears to be human, and he's doing things with magic. You can't really tell what it is. However, as you look towards the center of the citadel, you see a darkness that just seems to encompass the entirety of that area. It's at this point, like, it's obvious who that is and what dreams might be coming from it. You have no idea, but it seems to swallow anything that gets close. However, shortly after that, the sun begins to rise as the dreamscape just kind of melts away, and you find yourself once again in the church. And it is now morning.
I go ahead and make my way towards the dry dock.
Okay. So, this is a point where you guys can go ahead and, like, get food and whatnot and try and decide what you're going to do in regards to the library. Because you never did really get to a agreement on anything. There were suggestions of things. I will note that if you have questions about the Illithids themselves, Gaster will be able to answer some of those. He may not answer all of them, and you may not get, like, straight answers.
So we're taking a break?
No,
we're gonna keep moving forward for now.
All right.
we're moving forward, but we're going to be doing it at the inn,
Right.
the bar.
Yes, so now is like the time for you guys to like. You can still have character moments if you want. If you want to discuss things with other characters, you can do that. You also still have the task at hand, though.
Mm-hmm.
Because of your situation, the world doesn't stop to wait for you. You still have. It's part of the stress of all of this. Your characters have to continue moving forward.
Yes.
Of course. All right.
So, if you guys are getting food, like I've said before, it's pinned in the discussion channel, or if you open up Roll20, I can pop it up for you guys. Although only two of you.
Full-Fire will order his usual Hellfire chicken.
Okay. Anybody else
He
ordering?
will also order a Dwarven Fire.
Okay. Give me just a sec to open up for the what you need to roll. Because I know it's a Constitution, but I don't remember how high for the Dwarven Fire. Okay.
Oh boy.
So roll your Constitution saving throw. You can do it in Discord or Roll20. It's up to you.
I was looking at my character sheet.
Okay. Okay.
Good roll.
So
Thank goodness.
you will gain advantage on strength checks and reduce non-magical damage by 3
All
until the
right.
next long rest.
Nice.
I will note that is on a pass. That is not going to happen just because you drink it. And yes, several of these have positive effects if you pass.
Interesting. Oh, okay. I never realized that.
Yeah, that's because nobody's passed so far. If
Okay.
they have passed, it's on a drink that didn't have anything.
Or it was a non-consequential drink, sort of like the sun drop.
Yeah, where you just start glowing.
Oh,
This time I go ahead and buy my porridge in with the star drop, or the stardust.
You have the... I don't see a stardust. I see a dream drop. Oh, no, there's the liquid stardust.
Yeah.
So... But there is a dream draught, according to the sheet that I have here. So, whichever one you would like to...
Actually, the dream drop makes more sense.
Okay. Roll your Constitution saving throw.
Or the 20 plus unsave. Just plus 5. Am I boost up or did I pass?
See. You are boozed up.
Of course.
Congratulations, you are drunk.
Congratulations.
Anybody else getting any food?
I would like to get a slither shot, and that's it.
A what?
A slither shot for a drink.
Hold it up for
Okay.
that.
golden apples with the bite of cobra venom. Oh. Yikes.
So, go ahead and roll your Constitution saving throw.
Quillian, you aren't 21 yet, are you?
Nope. He's already drunk once.
I don't think that's a good idea. You probably shouldn't.
8.
Yeah, so, Quillian's kind of just, like, wiggling around on the floor now.
I mean, that is only the second time he's drunk before.
Your bone, to describe the feeling that you are feeling, your bones feel like jelly. Just a little bit.
Okay, so just a little. That's not too bad.
Hmm.
I like what he put at the end of this. Just let me be a snake, Mom.
Poor Quillian.
No, I'm happily slithering around. I don't care.
Quillian thinks he is now a snake.
If only I had some apples.
This is just great. This is exactly what our party needed to do the espionage later.
If I had some
Are
apples,
you
I could
going to
become
get
a longer snake.
Who?
Cameo.
Staghorn,
Yes.
if eating.
Not so early.
Okay.
I'm just kind of off from everyone else.
Okay. And Toot. Food or drink.
No, no, but Saw does look over at Solar and asks, oh hey Solar, where have you been?
I stayed at the church last night.
Is everything
Hey.
okay?
I had to think.
Okay, I get that. I just noticed you're not getting your usual drink, and was wondering if something was up, but that's okay.
Julian raises his hoof slightly.
Hold on. There we go.
Like William?
I thought you stayed at Dreamin'.
What?
Quillian sounds drunk now.
Wait, what? What's he talking about?
I even get saw. Hey, anyone have some apples? I have a craving. I want to be longer.
Someone give him something that's not alcoholic, please. Alright, you know what? You need some porridge. That should help dilute the poison in you. I slammed down a, how much of the porridge? Something nice and bland. 6 copper pieces on the table, and asked the barkeep for 2 porridges, 1 for himself as well.
Okay. Your food has been delivered.
Alright, so I do my best to sit Quillian up back on the seat in front of the bowl of porridge, and I tell him, okay, Quillian, you best get some food in you, something besides that awful stuff you drank. I don't know why you did that. You're not even legal, but here, just eat the porridge.
Quillian bends backwards and falls back on the floor and continues slithering.
Just like a snake, Mom.
Here comes the airplane? Is that gonna work?
He slithers.
What's an airplane? Ah!
He slithers faster.
He's pretending to be a snake. Maybe you should have him hunt the food.
Oh!
I attempt to cast protection from poison on Quillian.
I don't know if that one counts if he's already taken.
You touch a creature, if it's poisoned, you neutralize the poison.
Okay. Well, you, Quillian, you are now sober.
But I'm
He
drunk, so
continues
I have to
slithering.
make a save.
You do. Actually, you don't have to make save. You have to roll a d100.
Good luck.
19. Hopefully that's not too bad.
I don't want Eldritch one. I'm trying to see if I can find a themed one that's appropriate for this, because, you know, it's more fun with themes.
Yes.
That's true.
But, Eldritch Wild Magic makes more sense for Namink's character.
Yeah.
It's more fun, though. Why did I go into Draconic Magic instead of Wild Magic? I'm so boring!
I mean, wild magic is also a lot riskier.
It really is. Especially since, like, some of them literally just, yep, you're in the fire plane now.
Yeah, I went with dependable boring instead of undependable fun.
Oh, no,
Dependable boring
you'll
is
still
better.
cast just fine, but sometimes it comes with extras.
Yes.
You sometimes cast plus.
Oh, gosh.
Which can be fun.
So,
Well, it can also be your tongue is a centipede and your skin is clear. And, yeah. No, thank you.
So,
No, thank you.
yeah, don't forget that.
I'm already
Starfire offers to purchase food for Lena, Gaster, and Shadowfire.
They accept. Also, Paige has a beard of feathers.
Well,
Where did that
oh
come
my gosh.
Hmm?
That!
Oh,
Um,
what are you pointing at?
Face.
Horse feathers.
Does Paige
Sawtooth
look down?
Sawtooth pretends
I look down.
Roll Constitution.
Okay, let's see
Disadvantage.
how- Okay. Oh.
Wait, Solar is a Pegasus, right?
No.
Unicorn, right.
Yes.
So,
Duh,
okay,
Caster.
hold on, let me look. Yes. So, you sneeze, and all of the feathers go everywhere.
Ah,
You no longer have Featherbeard.
okay.
That happened.
Okay.
Wait,
So,
you said Quillian is sober now, right?
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I sit him back down in front of the porridge, and I tell him I demand he eats it.
Does Quillian eat the porridge?
Sober now?
Yes, you're sober.
Quillian flops back and continues to slither.
Quillian's just not having any of it today.
Okay, wait, what? Okay. Here comes the freight train. That's a thing that exists in Equestria.
I'm sober, I'm not a kid. I just like to slither.
He has decided it is fun. But,
Just for fun this time. Alright, you know what?
At least I no longer have a craving for apples.
So,
You just buy them.
I use
maybe that's
magic.
a good point. That does sound like a kid thing to say.
Yeah. I use my magic, levitate. I pick up a spoon of porridge and just shove it in Quillian's mouth. That's gotta work.
Quillian stands up. He keeps the porridge in his mouth, okay. He stands up, walks over the saw, spits it into his face.
Oh my gosh. Why? I am trying to help you.
Spite. That's why.
You sound like
He goes
Boone.
back to slithering.
Also, don't forget it does give you,
+1 in dex saves.
yes.
Quillian jumps on the porch and starts eating it.
I see somebody
Well-
forgot that food has advantages.
Yes.
Yeah, besides nourishment, you know.
You're welcome.
He spits more.
Sawtooth eats at his own porridge.
Also,
Don't
you
forget
should-
the porridge.
you
Don't
sh-
forget the porridge on your face.
No, I wipe
want
that
to,
off.
I want to point out, Sawtooth, that it is 6 copper per
Yes,
per
okay.
porridge. So you
Sorry,
would need 12.
I put down 12 earlier, is what I meant.
Okay.
I did the math afterwards and subtracted that, so.
But, so are you guys going to have a little meeting to discuss strategy on dealing with your illithid problem?
Yes, we should do so in a more secluded area.
I mean, you guys do have private rooms.
Yeah.
Let us go to one of them and discuss espionage.
Okay. So, I also want to ask, because we are kind of like with Namink gone and Ellis like MIA, we are kind of short and Cameo's not feeling too well at the moment. Do we want to cut it short for this session, or?
I think that would be for the best.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it'd be best to have as many minds around to strategize, because we never really did get Cameo's input on the library situation.
I swear I said that like 7 times.
Oh wait, yeah,
I'll
we did.
just keep ignoring,
Oh yeah, but
casually ignore what I say.
right, I was.
Don't worry,
who
they
was
do
it?
it to each other all the time.
Yeah.
That doesn't
Yeah, that-
really
the
make
idea of
anything any
sending-
better.
It
Oh.
really doesn't, but they do.
Mm.
Oh man, please don't take it personally.
So,
We're just a group of idiots.
I'm just making sure that you guys want to, whether or not you guys want to keep going, and if,
We can keep going.
okay,
I would,
But
yeah,
you
I
have
would
a
like to
plan.
come up with something because we
Okay.
we started this thing last week, and I feel like there's some sort of plan we can come up with.
Okay, I don't mind keep going.
okay, then we'll keep going. So, you guys, I'm assuming you tell the VIPs that you're doing planning because they have more information.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they should be there because they can veto bad ideas because we happen to go through a lot of those.
So,
But hey, that's the whole process. We're here for it.
they're not
Try
necessarily
an error
going to.
when error means death.
They're not necessarily going to veto, but they will give you more information if you have questions on. Wait, so
Well, not veto, but they'll give us the warnings we might not have thought of. So,
like Illithids kind of revolve around, psionics. Like, that's their whole thing.
They mess with
psionics.
people's brains.
Oh.
Yeah, psionics is like mind reading and stuff like that. Telepathy.
Okay.
It's basically magic, but with your brain instead of like actual
Magic.
Got it.
Like anti-magic fields do not affect, counter a spell does not affect, and dispel magic does not affect psionics.
Okay. I'm gonna
Like
guess
an ability
see
rather
through
than
any
magic.
visual disguises. Like if I were to actually no, I was able to trick them with my Claude Geyser disguise, wasn't I?
You were dealing with mutated individuals rather than illithids.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean? Oh, right.
The people that were around the lizards or the squid people are different than the brain eat people.
Wait. No, but I did deal with an illithid. The giant eye that melted my brain.
That's a kraken.
Yeah.
And they didn't notice my changeling disguise. If the Kraken didn't see it, then these guys aren't gonna either. So there is the disguise element that could work.
No.
Krakens,
The
Kraken
Krakens
different.
are a completely different species than illithids.
Yes.
They aren't any higher up.
No, they are
No.
drastically different.
They're a completely
Like-
different species.
Just like how leviathans are completely different species than gay sea serpents.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Hellfire asks Gaster very seriously. So, how can we kill a Lithid?
Very carefully.
He looks at you thoughtfully for a moment before saying, I mean, if you hit one hard enough, if you can get through its defenses.
And it doesn't fry your
If you
brain in the
sneak up on
process.
it.
If they
Hard
don't see you coming and you hit it with a physical attack, it would probably be fairly decent shot at actually killing it. It's just a question of whether or not it alerts the others. They often work on what is known as a hive mind.
Oh, believe me.
So,
I
like
know
Sawtooth.
all about those. Ugh. Okay. So, like, if we just coordinate an attack to just stun all of them at once, like kill all of them at once.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
but-
There are way too many
Have
for
you,
that.
Even
have
just
you
one.
seen how
minute.
many there are in the streets?
So, guys, I have a thing.
Okay.
So, if we're dealing with a possible hive mind situation, then why don't we ask the person here who's used to hive mind? Saw.
Gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, do I have to be useful here? Oh my god.
Have to be useful all the time.
Wait.
So,
You know, the more that I think about it, the more I understand Staghorn.
You know, it's been years, guys. Like years and years. I moved from Ponyville. What, like moons and moons and moons ago? To Ponyville, I mean. Yeah, I haven't talked to the
Oh,
chief.
this is a question. Hypnosis. Memories can be rewritten. Is it possible with hypnosis, with a person willing to rewrite certain memories so that can get passed by?
So, who are you asking?
The main peoples to ask. This is actually more just general out loud, since I'm still kind of
The
thing.
Vips. I think you might be onto something there.
Hey, Saw.
No, trust me. There's no useful information there.
Saw. No,
Fred-
Saw.
Sawtooth, you can roll intelligence, and I will give you what information.
Okay. Well, I might know something. Give me a second.
So,
I love just in that one, even if it will be worse for us, just because it'll be so in character.
it depends on the role that he gets will also change the kind of information he gets and how factual it is, but I won't tell you on what he's rolling for.
He got a
Alright, well-
17.
There's my roll.
Okay? So,
I'm on a roll, baby.
I kind of need the question. because I don't remember actually hearing the exact
Oh,
question in regards to hive mind.
What is the nature of hive minds? How do they work? Like, other weaknesses, that kind of thing.
So, with what you know of hive minds, you're not sure of an exact weakness, but you do know that experiences experienced even by someone who is temporarily outside of the hive mind, once introduced back in, they will share all of those experiences. And if they are already still part of it, whenever the experience happens, everyone in it, it's like watching a movie and they experience it as well.
So does that? Are you saying there's like a radius to the hive mind? You can take them far enough away, and they won't be able to communicate?
It depends on both the power of the entity that controls the hive mind and the nature of the hive mind itself.
Also, one thing that so if we can do something that makes one of them, like for instance, if we were to send off a bunch of flashbangs in front of one of them, all of them would experience those flashbangs if it was in radiance.
But they wouldn't necessarily experience it the same way. It would be like a kind of like watching somebody else get flashbanged from a distance.
It would just alert them all to our presence.
Yes. Something big just happened to insert individual. They would also know if someone died. But the hive mind that Sawtooth is familiar with, you could technically leave voluntarily. It just took a while and a lot of attempting to hide from it if it was looking for you, which in Sawtooth's case it was not. You also don't know enough about the Illithids, like, we'll, for lack of a better description, we'll say the Illithids version of Chrysalis. Because there is something that controls the central, like, nervous system of the hive mind, and in your case it was Chrysalis.
Could I? Would Sawtooth's biology make him maybe able to tune in to other hive minds?
There's a very small chance. And
what should I look for?
I would also point out that most hive minds would notice a foreign...
a foreign mind?
Yeah, because you, despite also having lived within a hive mind, you are
right, guys,
an entity with a different
be right
mind.
back.
Okay?
Alright, Nameless?
You are an entity with a different mind. Your brain will not work the same as an Illithid's.
Right. I wonder if there's just a way to scream telepathically into all their heads and just sort of like distract them.
That kind of ability is a psionic ability and requires a lot of training.
Of which I have none.
Yes, you are a magic user, not a scientist.
I can only scream in real life, sadly.
Yes.
But I'm good at that, so who knows, that might come in handy. Okay, so the hive mind idea just gives us more problems. I can't think of any good way to exploit it without telling them where we are.
We could always try taking out the source of the hive mind.
Oh yeah, piece of
Good
cake.
luck identifying that.
Yeah.
Gaster actually interjects at this one and says that is actually not too difficult. Most Illithids have what are known as a... Actually, hold on, let me check out the name. It's something
It's the overbrain?
What's that?
I think it's the other overbrain or the mother brain. One of the two.
Let me double check.
Wow. That changes things. So, if we can get rid of the hive mind, we can pick these guys off one at a time.
It is called an elder brain.
Oh, elder brain, yes.
However, he does point out that it is not exactly defenseless and is often well guarded. You know, being kind of a squishy mash of like, or squishy mass of
Brain.
Yeah, it was literally a giant brain that it sits in a pool of brine to prevent it from drying out, and it is also a psionic entity.
Yeah, if I am not wrong, most of the illithids are strong with the brain magic, and the elder brain is the center of their minds.
Yes.
Okay.
And it has the collective intellect of all the minds underneath it.
Yes.
If I zapped that brain with lightning, what would happen?
It would probably zap you back with brain magic. Because it...
Before you zap it with lightning.
More than likely, yes. Because if even one of the illithids sees you coming, they all know you're on their way there.
Okay. Let's see. Alright, so I'm not gonna try any visual spells because they probably all have true sight. I have a teleport spell where I could take us all into the place, but since I've never been there,
Actually,
the chance of succeeding would be pretty slim.
Sawtooth.
Yes.
Roll for Arcana.
Okay. I can do that, I think. Sorry, give me a second. Roll d20 plus 9. 23.
Give me just a sec. I'm double checking a few things. So, as far as you can tell, they actually don't, and you can try and verify with Gaster that they don't have true sight. However, things like trying to sneak by disguised, if you aren't careful and they suspect something and they decide to probe, then you kind of you've been
screwed.
hacked.
And the whole cat's out of the bag too. Once a single cat's out, the rest of the litter go flying.
Yeah.
Not so good. The area we wish to get to, is it visible from the outside? Or if I could study it from the outside, would I be able to learn it well enough to teleport to it reliably?
To the library?
Yes, past the gate that you need the library card for.
They had a foyer with a closed door.
What is a foyer?
A foyer is like an entry area. It's a fancy looking entry area, but it's an entry area. And then
Closed sucks.
the door was guarded by two, I forget what they're called. Hold on, let me...
Squiddy boys? That's the
I'm
sign.
going to find a picture of the exact creature.
Okay.
Let's see.
Alright, so they do not have true sight.
So you remember the picture that I shared with you earlier? They're kind of scrawny looking and whatnot.
No. Actually, wait. Was it just for me?
I believe it was in this chat, so if you scroll up, you should be able to find it. But Illithids, they were kind of scrawny looking, if you remember.
Okay, yeah.
I am not seeing the version
Oh, I just saw the Staghorn art you did cameo. He looks great. I love that. Love that character.
I think Paige knows the one I'm speaking of, but there are versions that are not the same as the picture that was sent.
Yeah.
In fact, they're all of the beefy.
Yeah, there are multiple different variations of illithids.
The main ones are pretty thin, though.
Yes, but guarding those doors were the beefy boys.
The beefy boys.
They
Of
are all of the muscle.
And then there's also the little brainy boys who run around also.
Seems like a lot of nope.
Oh.
You guys actually saw what was called a
Intellect Devourer.
yes, and that was how they were using to transfer like memories.
Delicious.
You didn't see any just running around, but you did see that one.
Hmm.
I thought there was more than one.
It's harder to find a depiction. Here we go. This might actually.
So they don't have true sight, but sneaking is risky, highly risky.
It's one of those that you can get away with it, but the moment that you don't get away with it, you're definitely not getting away with it.
Yeah.
Right. So in order to reduce the number of one bad roll is enough to do it. So in order to reduce it, it'd have to be just one of us who is good at sneak.
If you're trying
And-
to sneak in, yes.
And possibly under an effect that makes them invisible.
What was that?
And possibly under an effect that makes them invisible.
Yeah, we can stack the spells as a backup plan, so that I can change someone else's appearance. I have seeming.
Oh, here we go. I found it. Or a version of it.
But what good would that do without a key card? Unless they did a surprise kill on both the guards, but then Hive Mind makes it so that that would only be the start. There'd be more on the chase after that moment.
There we go.
Yeah, those.
But as of right now, I think Quillian might be our best candidate for this little mission, since he's the
You
best
think?
at sneaking around. Yeah.
You know, they are all sapient creatures, too. You can ask them questions, and they might answer.
Who, the
How
Illithids?
they want to answer the questions that we have need answers. Need
Yes.
answers.
How do I counterfeit a library card, please?
How do we
Or-
kill Sol Tenebris? How do we destroy the pylons? You know.
There's the question of what do you do with the memories? Why do you need them? Where are they going? You know, questions that most patrons would probably ask.
Yeah.
I suppose if we're suspicious about it, though, they could just search. Like, oh,
So
I have very
what
sensitive.
I hear is don't let Sawtooth ask the questions.
Yeah.
Okay, but
How
like,
do we take out your leaders?
how would you frame that question, though? Because that makes it suspicious, you know. And then they'll want to probe your memories.
Why do you ask for people's memories?
It's for. I think we already did that, and they said like it's for security purposes.
Actually, I don't remember you actually asking that question.
Well, I'm sure it's for security purposes. What else would it be?
To gain more knowledge?
There
And
is
security
lots
purpose.
of reasons why they would want memories.
Know how to do more magic?
But seeing as it's a pass to get a library card, it seems to be a not out
Okay.
of want for more knowledge. It's like we need to know. Trust you.
You give away knowledge so that you gain access to their knowledge.
It's literally an exchange, one for one. Well, not necessarily one for one, but you know how it goes.
So, could someone choose what knowledge is given?
That was literally what I said earlier.
They take a copy of your mind, of your memories.
Well, I know, but
The words that they used are they make a copy of your memories and experiences.
yeah, that's the problem, because that sounds like you can't pick and choose. Like it's all encompassing. Like they get everything from you.
Is what is.
What'd you say, Ballistic?
That is what it is. It's all encompassing. They get everything.
Well, actually, we never asked if we're able to choose what memories we give.
Okay, so what if we have sensitive or private memories? Would that be a fair question to ask?
Oh, like you know what you do in the bedroom?
And
You said
no,
private and sensitive.
that's where Sawtooth breaks.
Okay, actually, if we could pass it off as that kind of thing, that might work. Whoa, all my memories. I think there's some stuff you don't want to see. And then you're like, fair point, and then they sort of like let you choose which memories to give, and then we're in. Let's try it.
I mean, you might
Yeah.
actually get stuck with a
So
kinky
many
guard.
things wrong with that.
Ooh. Okay, let's go back to the library and at least get some more information on exactly what the process is, and ask if there's exceptions or things like that.
Okay.
If it's trust based, I don't think that's going to work. Like So who wants to ask the question?
I don't want to go anywhere near the things that can destroy my mind with a thought.
You know, it kind of sounds weird when you say it like that, but it's amusing at the same time.
Because it's
You're
not
not
wrong.
Yeah. So if you tell me exactly what to say, and I sort of like go off a script, then there's no chance of me screwing things up. Right?
Until they ask you the question that you're not prepared for.
Yeah.
I think you should just try it, and maybe like think before you ask them, how do we take out your leaders?
Okay, yeah, okay. No, okay, I'm not stupid. Alright, you know what? I'll go
Sure.
in. Quillian?
As long as you think
I swear.
a little bit more than you did with the vampires.
The vampires?
Remember?
The festival setup.
Oh, yeah, I was kind of put on the spot there. I just, the nerves. But I can do this.
I'm going to tell you, you're probably going to get put on the spot anyways. So you just need to take...
If I don't know what to say, I'll just make a convenient exit, be like, oh, excuse me, and I'll leave.
You realize
What's your
that
definition
could
of convenient?
That
you
what?
realize that that could be suspicious in of itself.
Why is everything sus?
Taking a moment to think about what you say before you say it is not a wrong answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Oh, but I'm not good at this kind of thing.
well,
Someone else do it! Anyone else?
Just making the reminder that we would also be sending one of the people with a more notable characteristic if we sent Sawtooth.
I mean, Sawtooth can also change shape.
But
I
not...
point at his eyes.
Yeah, the eyes. I'm kind of stuck with those. Unfortunately.
I want to point out that you're in a city full of people. Like, this
Yeah,
section of
true.
the city has been full of people warped by the Kraken's influence.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I would like to take the form of one of these gross creatures, so I blend in even better, and my eye doesn't stand out as strange.
No, it doesn't stand out as strange considering you are already warped.
Yeah.
And considering that they're a hive mind,
I mean, but like, if you just like randomly got like cat eyes one day, best way to hide that would be become a cat. Like, cat eyes don't stand out on a cat. It's what you expect. So I become a squiddy boy.
I would also, on top of that, point out with the fact that you being like you having eyes like that will definitely like it's not a thing that they don't see, like they see it regularly enough that you guys showing up last time was probably just a footnote in their day of weird.
That's true.
I want to also point out that they're not the only things. Like, you've seen orcs, ogres, undead, all kinds of things just kind of wandering around.
Alright.
So, you don't necessarily need to, like, do more than, like, maybe change up to, like, say, a Pegasus or, like, a unicorn if you're worried about, like, your appearance.
Alright, yeah, sure. So, Sawtooth switches things up. He looks around at the party and picks bits and pieces to emulate and just becomes a mishmash of everyone else. But not recognizably. Like, you wouldn't be able to point out the features. It's just for inspiration. So, Mishmash saw walks into the library and up to the person in charge of the library cards.
So the illithid at the front desk is absent-mindedly stamping things and just kind of sliding it to one side. They don't seem to be particularly paying attention to you or anything else other than, stamp, slide, stamp, slide, stamp, slide.
Okay. So you're saying that you don't got rhythm. Okay, that was out of character. Phineas and Ferb reference, sorry. Alright, so Sawtooth says, I'm interested in becoming a patron of this fine library, and have some questions about the process to getting a library card.
So he looks up at, or you assume it's a he. It sounds vaguely masculine, but it's kind of hard to tell because it looks like a squid-faced monstrosity that it hasn't eaten in years.
Oh my gosh!
But it looks at you and says, "What are your questions?" In a very bored voice.
What are the requirements for a library card?
You're required to submit a copy of your intellect and memories to the library of the Beholden University. And he, vaguely gestures off and, he was, had to say this who knows how many times, all in the same day.
Oh, all of them? I mean, I'm sure there's some memories that should be kept to oneself, if you know what I mean. Sawtooth gives him a wink.
He shudders and says, I doubt you have anything less than, or worse than some of the demons that come through here. And you can hear, a visible, or an audible strain in his voice.
Oh, well, as a matter of privacy, would it be possible for me to, choose some memories to set aside, just for the sake of this?
He looks at you and shrugs and says, I don't deal with, what is extracted. I'm just told that to extract them, and then it's later archived for later review by Professor Beholden.
And you're required to take all of it?
I take what the intellect devourer has been trained to take.
Ah, I see. Alright, well, I will consider the offer. Thank you very much, kind sir. Have a good day.
He gives you a dismissive wave and goes back to stamping things.
Alright, so Sawtooth exits the building, and finds the party. Yeah, it's not looking real good. They mentioned something about a intellect devourer, and that they really have the say, and I feel like that might be a tough sell to say, ooh, I got some memories I want to hide. And he didn't seem to know much about the reasons and purposes behind it. They seem to just be doing their job, just following directions. I don't think there's a good way to get around that.
I would like the party to roll perception.
Oh, okay.
Perceive.
The question is, do they review these things right away?
27.
Sawtooth, you are asked a question.
19.
I'm sorry, my brain just blanked. Let me roll. That's just gonna be a d20. Yeah, that was a bad roll.
That was a really bad roll. Do you not have any pluses to perception?
Nope. It's with and I don't. Okay, so brain is rebooting. The question, something about time, how long it would take. I forgot to ask. I should have asked. I'm sorry.
If you remember what the illithid said, he told you that it is archived for later review by Professor Beholden. What does that tell you, Sawtooth?
Archive. Oh, that's right. He did say archive for later review. That gives us a window of time if we were to give them our memories, find what we need to find, and but that would suck later when Beholden goes through them and figures out where we've been staying and where we go. That would not be very good.
So, for the party members that passed that perception check, you do see a fairly large entity. It's not. It looks like a bipedal T-Rex, for lack of a better description.
A Minotaur?
And he's got wings of fire, and like coiled at his waist is a whip of fire. And he looks very big and angry, but he's also like talking to a much smaller creature that looks like T-Rex, but if T-Rex had like no muscles.
That looks like that thing looks like it's supposed to be in Tartarus.
But the big one is holding what appears to be a thin wafer of crystal, as it is saying something in a language that, for both of the clerics, hurts to hear, like extremely painful to hear.
I'm sorry to hear that.
For Sawtooth and Quillian, it's uncomfortable to listen to, but it's not like painful. And then for Fallfire, it's you're perfect. It's just like listening to anybody else have a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Just in a language you don't understand.
Yes.
That must be what we need.
What'd you say?
That wafer crystal thing.
Why would we need it?
Are you going to actually share the information that you were asked for, by the way?
Oh, yes. Sorry. I tell them that the information, the copy of your memories and everything is filed for later review by Professor Beholden. And it's unknown when, I don't know when, how long it takes for him to get to it. But it is a later review, so that's sometime.
So, for my two clerics, roll a religion check.
Hey, a thing that I'm actually trained in.
So, you being a cleric and all.
Okay.
$25.
So both of you, having studied some of the celestial and infernal type creatures outside of your dimension, you do recognize those two. The little one is an imp, the big one is a Balor.
Ah. Not fun.
Yes, lots of not fun. However, you can attempt to ask them questions about the process. Because obviously they are waving around card, that means they probably got it recently.
Well, didn't Sawtooth say something about demons coming through or something?
Actually, no, Sawtooth has not said that.
Yes.
Well, he said he relayed the information.
He relayed the information about what the Cameo asked about.
So I asked if I could keep any information back. Basically, the person said, I'm sure you don't have anything worse than what the demons around here have submitted. So it seems that you have to give up pretty much everything to go.
I would also like to point out that it didn't. Even the surface thoughts for a demon were probably 1,000,000 times worse than the worst thing you could submit.
Right.
I'm not taking up that job.
Feel bad for that dude. Not enough that I'll like let him see my memories, but like still bad for it.
Wait, so
I want to ask the imp a question. Is it possible just to walk up to them without stirring up shit?
So I want to point out major problem with that is
You are a cleric?
a good aligned cleric, and they
Yeah,
will know it.
It's sort of like how we know they're an evil-aligned entity.
So
I
if
am
we
aware of that, but I
You can
do
attempt to.
still
I'm just
have
telling
question.
you that is a thing that might happen.
I think it would be a good idea not for neither of us to speak to those things.
But if
Do
you,
we have-
like I said, if
No.
you want to, you can. So, are you going to attempt to, Cameo?
Yes.
Okay.
I am so ready to fall asleep. I don't know what the...
Say that again.
Oh, both in character and IRL, I am ready to fall asleep. Like, my entire body is, like, trying to put itself to sleep for some reason.
So, you approach said imp.
Imp is short for imposter. Watch out, he's sus.
So, what is your question?
Hello there. I've
So-
noticed that...
Go ahead.
No, I just say hello
The
at first, just to see how they react.
General Kenobi.
the Balor kind of glares at you with this like open hostility, while the imp like gives you a weird. I believe the phrase for it is giving you the hairy eye or the stink eye, or some people would say evil eye. Like you're getting some dirty looks right now.
My expression does not change from tired at all. It just looks like I just haven't properly slept at all.
Okay. So, what do you say now? Because you are currently engaged in intense staring contest. Because they're not saying anything to you at the moment.
Sorry for intruding in your personal space. But I do have some questions for you guys.
The imp says something in the language that they were speaking in, and it grates horribly on your ears. And you're pretty sure that it was probably some sort of terrible insult. You just get like that vague impression from it.
I see.
But then again, most of their language sounds like a constant stream of terrible insult after terrible insult, followed by death curses, and you know.
Your ears start to bleed.
So it's German.
Farfire kind of inserts himself in between Staghorn and the imp and was like, "Sorry about that," and kind of shuffles him away.
I wasn't done talking to them. I'm not trying to start a fight. I just have a few questions.
The imp spits at you.
Oof.
At me?
At both of you, actually.
Hmm.
The Balor is just kind of watching with an amused look on his face, but the imp apparently feels like it has something to prove. It also makes a very rude gesture in both of your directions.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
It then attempts to square up to Fallfire. I will note that this creature is like half your size.
Farfire glares with fire in his eyes.
Roll intimidation.
Cool.
That may not be the best idea you've had there.
No.
Your mother was a hamster, and your father smelled of elderberries. I fought in your general direction.
Okay. So the imp suddenly seems to lose its nerve as it backpedals. The Balor bursts into laughter as he then stomps the imp into the ground and leans down and to Staghorn and says in a voice that just like, imagine like what you might think of for Shadowfire's voice, but turned up volume and reverb wise to 11. As he leans down and says, "What's your question, little one?" In this like really deep, kind of gritty voice.
As creatures of... Wait, hold up. Okay, out of character, I was literally about to say something stupid as shit. I want to actually pass this, guys, to you, out of character, before I say it out loud. Because holy shit, I was literally running on quick pilot. I was literally about to say, as creatures of sin, how the fuck do you hide your... like, how the fuck do you hide the worst that you've done? To the people that you fucked over.
I mean, that's a good question.
I will also note that the what little you can see under the Balor's hoof of the imp is still quivering and moving. You can't really tell if it's alive or not, but it is still twitching at least.
Oh god. I asked that, but like still in such a tired and exhausted voice. Like I've been through, just still exhausted. Oh god.
The Balor bursts into laughter before like taking a moment to compose itself and say, "You're serious, aren't you? Why would I hide what I've done?" And then at this point, everybody roll insight.
Alright.
Yes. Or don't.
Inside I have training.
Do 11.
So Fair is clueless.
As usual.
For Cameo, I need Cameo's insight as well, and if Quillian is within earshot of all of this. Okay. Quillian, are you within earshot of this conversation?
Wandering around.
Slithering like a snake.
But
No, not like a snake.
Oh, thank
so
goodness.
for everybody but Fair, you realize this is kind of why the Illithid was so traumatized, because he didn't hide anything. He let it all hang out, and was probably
Way of saying
recounting tales as he was getting probed.
I see. This is why you type of creatures are actually admirable. The type of honesty you have. If only my partners were as brave as you.
Oh. Ouch.
He scratches his chin and asks, "What is there that they are afraid of here? Well, besides me," and he thumps his chest. And it honestly sounds like he thumped like one of those giant wine barrels.
Tell them they just care about their privacy.
Well, let's just say the bedroom is full of sin.
Ooh.
And frankly, they rather keep it hush-hush.
What mortals would not? He like leans down and whispers to you. It tells the and this is specifically for Cameo. If we're being honest, though, I've taken a look of the backlog. I don't think anybody will know what happened unless the Descalithid gets too curious. But don't tell Beholden that I was the one who got a hold of his backlog. He's still looking for it.
Why would I tell any of them?
Well,
It's not like they can handle
I should
this
specify it's copy 57 of the backlog. He's
How did you manage that?
he shrugs. It's like I walked into a toilet one day and it was hanging from the ceiling.
No, I don't find that surprising at all.
You know?
It was just my
Everybody's
luck.
still
This one
around
happened.
here.
This one happened to be categorized in infernal backwards, but still alphabetical, written sideways.
That made just
Wow.
enough sense to not make any sense.
I mean, nobody
Thank
understands
you.
him. Just don't tell him I said that. I'd rather not deal with that. And he shudders.
Oh, trust me. As a mortal, I'm used to keeping secrets. And with these wimps, I have to keep many. It is safe with me.
What's that supposed to mean?
He gives a deep rumbling chuckle and shrugs before he says, I have some business to tend to, before scraping the imp off of his hoof and stomping off with him.
Alright. Hopefully we'll meet each other another day.
I like this one. He was
What? Wow, that went super well. You handled that super well, Staghorn.
I've faced much of that in
So
military.
everybody that isn't Staghorn, that is able to see Staghorn, roll perception.
Perception. That is wisdom. So it's gonna be plus 2.
Nope.
Wow, look at me, I got 21. Wow.
Good job.
I did a good roll.
I rolled an 11 and got 23.
I will.
Wow.
So you guys both see that she is now, or he is now bleeding from his ears.
Oh my god.
You okay there? You see, you got a little something coming out of your ears.
I spawn a cloth into existence and hand it over to him.
Okay.
That'll be fun. Trust me.
So, what do now?
What'd you say, Cameo?
I said I'll be fine. Trust me. I actually just kind of wipe it off with my own hands.
So did you learn anything interesting from him?
You were there for the entire conversation. Actually, you heard all.
Oh.
Yeah, but remember he whispered into my ear though.
Oh, yeah,
technically
that's
it was
right.
short. So
Don't
Oh,
worry,
yeah.
my brain works sometimes.
10 vouch, it sometimes works.
there was a backlog. And a big one at that.
A giant log? What does that mean? I'm confused.
Not that kind of log.
A backlog. That means the guy is behind in seeing what is and isn't in his library. And unless the front desk gets a little sneaky to check it out himself, we can probably get away with our own
So-
stuff.
We just have to be sneaky. Oh. Okay, as long as we don't raise any suspicions, which I am very
Okay.
good at not doing. No, doing. I'm good at not raising suspicions.
Click
Yeah.
on roll perception.
Oh god, Discord, don't be an ass.
24.
So while you were doing your little wander, you trip over something,
Ooh, trip.
and as you land, you notice there is a rock with backlog number 87.
Oh,
All of the things written on it, though, are written in a squiggly language you have never seen before.
Is it Latin?
You can roll an intelligence check to see if what it would be Old Ponish for you, not Latin.
So roll what check?
Intelligence check.
I don't
Okay,
think we're speaking pony tongue.
13.
Yes, it is nothing that you recognize.
All right.
This is all French to you. But yes, you have found yet another copy of the backlog.
Pardon my French.
More than one copy? Wait, what? Where did we find other copies?
With the demon?
Oh, yeah, he's got what? Log 57?
Are these multiple logs, like, that's how far behind he is, or he has that many copies? So,
The answer
Or
to your
different
question
versions.
is yes.
as in, he has that many copies, and not, he's that far behind?
No, the answer to the question is yes.
What question?
Exactly.
Oh, you're not gonna tell. Okay.
You know,
He gave an answer that was yes.
we have someone who might know some stuff about old languages that we don't know anything about.
Well, we're not the ones that noticed the book.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so if you would
Sorry.
like to try to bring it to someone that might know more, Quillian, you can do so. You just have to specify
Guys,
who.
it's like 57 different types of backlogs behind.
There could be
I
more
don't-
or less of them.
Well,
I
I don't see why he
think
57 copies. of the
Quillian,
same-
would you like to try and move the backlog?
It's a backlog exactly.
It is, well, for
This
this,
is
it's a rock with the backlog of things, of brains that, or memory scripts that he needs to check.
Oh yeah.
You want to try and move that?
Yes.
Roll strength.
This isn't gonna go well. I can tell already because I only have +1 in that and 9.
So you managed to get it about 6 feet out of the ground, but it's still coming, and now it's stuck. And I will also note that it is still has things written on it.
So anyone here know Old Ponish, or I mean whatever this thing might be?
I look over at Quillian.
You see Quillian holding 6 feet of stone still stuck in the ground, and you catch the end of him like moving it upwards and getting it stuck.
What does Saw see? What does Saw see when he looks at it?
So you doing true sight?
Yes.
I don't think he has any other choice.
Oh, that's true.
Fullfire would like to help Quillian as well.
Wait, who the hell would know the language?
Toot, roll perception.
I shall do a perceive on this fine eve. Perception is wisdom. Okay, so I just gotta do the same thing I did before. Alright, roll d20 plus 2. Dun da 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 17.
So, as you lean in real close, you are able to see something that nobody else noticed written on it. And it says, "These are not explosive runes."
Oh, thanks, Celestia.
You take 24 points of damage as the explosive runes explode.
Wait, I thought you said they weren't explosive runes.
No, they say that they're not explosive runes. That is what was written with them as they exploded.
Curses! I've been lied to!
Does that mean that they just explode my face?
Anybody that was close enough to read that, which would include you, so you also took 24 points of explosive damage.
Gosh
had
dang it, Saw!
If I had a Dalmatian for every health point I'd have 101 Dalmatians. Just a fun fact. Okay, now what? Can I not? Wait a second. I can read that. I can read the runes.
They were explosive runes.
So they're gone now.
Yes, they're gone now. The
Quillian walks.
the pillar that you guys have pulled out of the ground is no longer like it's still there. No longer has anything other than the squigglies that you guys are sure is probably a language.
Quillian walks over and slaps Saw.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Okay.
I
Hold
mean,
up.
Okay,
from
so
Quillian's
the
point
same-
of view, you just spontaneously exploded when you walked closer to it.
Oh, yeah, never mind. I don't slap him then. I just step back away slowly and say, why did that explode, and does anyone know how to get some of those memories out there?
Oh.
So, I'm assuming you brought the VIPs with you?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't see why we want it.
I will note that Gaster points out that the backlog will not have the memories on it. It is a list of a queue of who needs to be checked.
And
So the
seeing that thing got stuck behind, something tells me the list is just ever growing. Once you fall behind on something like this, it's very, very hard to keep back, especially with demons and such around.
Gaster also does take a step forward to read the pillar and says, I'm sorry, but I don't read the language of the Githyanki.
What? Oh. The Get Yankee?
Githyanki.
Githyanki. Okay.
Yes, I do not read this language. I
Well-
read many languages, but not this one.
Do you
Many
know
languages.
anybody that can read it?
Probably someone here. But it is kind of odd that the other one was mentioned to be written in, what was it, Infernal?
Infernal backwards?
Upside down? Mirrored?
Uh,
I think that's what he said.
mirrored, but still in alphabetical order sideways.
I mean, lots of people are bilingual. That's not a weird thing.
He runs a hoof down it and says, I may not read it, but I think this one might be upside down. And this one isn't. What is this? He seems very, very, very visibly confused on what he is attempting to read.
I think-
The thing that has knowledge of multiple different races and codes their things in such a way that nothing else can read it.
Oh. That's really clever. Wait, why would he want to make the list of people who have library cards so private?
Because he doesn't want anyone to know that he is backed up. This means that people can go in and out while holding so many of their secrets.
Oh. Wow. Okay, that gives us a clear window then. Oh my gosh.
And
Okay,
I will also make the argument that most of the big guys do not like each other.
So Elena takes this opportunity while you guys are talking to grab hold of the pillar and yank upwards. And about 15 feet later, she finally comes to the end of it.
What the heck?
Good job, Lena.
It's just one of those. She's like standing there, like awkwardly trying to prevent the thing from falling over because it's now, what was it?
Whoa, hold up.
But-
Talk about
and-
character moment. Ballistic just complimented Lena. Did anyone else hear that?
I'll fly up to help Lena hold it steady.
Man,
You are now looking at a 21-foot long list of what you could assume are probably a list of names, but you don't know how many names are squeezed in it because you don't know how to read Githyanki.
Saw about what you just said. A broken clock can be right 2 times a day.
So
Why is that so
you were
true?
doing so well.
Oh, hello, Ellis. Welcome. You are no longer poo-brained.
Yes, I have been busy with Easter stuff.
Yes, we are currently unraveling mysteries, and they're about to attempt to go inside.
So I see that Cloud is no longer poo-brained, and I say, "Hey, so we just discovered that you know the whole library card thing." I'm sort of whispering in a hushed tone. So Professor Beholden's kind of behind on checking the minds on the mind copies. So like, there's like 87 lists of names, at least 87 lists of names that he has to get to. So if we submit our brains and get a library card, there's a good chance it'll be a long while before we're actually ratted out.
Okay.
All right, so
I can see the potential of actually going now.
yeah.
What is the one issue cameo?
Or is it Staghorn?
Staghorn.
You're-
The one issue is actually the fact that we do have to be aware of the front desk getting a bit curious.
Right, we can't be suspect, but like,
We'll get
With
voted out as an
People that have
imposter.
to submit their memories, the better, I think.
it's true. I mean, I see the logic, and if one of our memories are going through, that's enough to rat the rest of us out. So there's really no reason to limit it to just one person. So we're all going in this, but is that a bit suspicious if we all sign up at once?
That's why we sign up at separate times.
Yes.
Who would like to go through it first?
Not I.
I'll do it.
Shadowfire and Gaster look at each other and say, "It may be a good idea if we stay out."
Understandable.
Yes.
Understandable. Have a nice day.
I'm sitting there thinking to myself, because I'm still under the effects of the curse, or blessing, that I can probably get away with it.
With what?
What curse? What? I'm sorry.
Get away with what?
Getting through, and if I have to explain myself, I'm just saying. Okay.
Explain.
So,
Like,
you
Sorry, I'm confused.
you think you're trying to sneak in?
We're
no,
not attempting to sneak in. We're just walking in.
Yep.
submitting my thoughts and stuff.
Yeah, they won't be read for a long time, so you'll be fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll make the comment. Since you weren't here, they see a lot of weird things walk in.
They literally just had a conversation with a Balor who just got his library card recently.
Oh. Okay. I know I missed it 2.5 hours, but
So yeah, basically, Staghorn's gonna go in and get the card first, and then we're going to wait a non-suspicious amount of time, and I guess I'll go second. And-
You know, we could go as a group, considering those two demons probably went in as a group.
just like a school field trip, like, hey, let's go to the library. Is that suspicious? Okay, I turn and look to the Shadowfire and Gaster, and I say, would it be suspicious if we all went in at once?
Gaster and Shadowfire look at each other and shrug and say, "Probably not. It's just don't tell them that you're looking for spell to kill their leader."
Oh, okay. I'll scratch that off my list of things to do then.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. We got this. Let's go, guys. So Sawtooth goes in.
Gaster grabs your tail and says, "If you do get asked, I would suggest saying something along the lines of ancient magic."
So if I get asked what we're looking for,
Yes. Because otherwise you're going to more than likely spend hours in there.
so we're historians. Like,
You're-
play it off.
You're a mage.
Ah,
and we
Okay.
could say the fighters are the bodyguards. You know.
all right.
Yes.
So that's a good. I'll keep that in mind. So if I get asked, ancient magic. right, so Saul marches right into the library.
I guess the rest of us are following behind him.
Yep.
So
In the same
Not
that he
too
took earlier.
closely.
Lena actually does join you guys. So
Ooh.
as you guys go in, the Illithid looks up, gives a watery sigh, and asks, "Library cards."
Yes,
We're
after
here to get one.
I decided it's very much worth the knowledge this great library stores.
He gestures to the intellect devourer that's sitting on the desk. Right now it's not moving, but you can tell it's still like the brain is pulsating, so you can tell it's alive.
Yay! Pulsating brains.
He gestures to it and says, "Just step up to the intellect devourer."
Sawtooth steps right up with a spring in his step.
So the intellect devourer leans in close, and a small tentacle-like proboscis shoots out and hits your forehead, and there's a moment of sharp pain, and then you basically literally watch your life flash before your eyes before it steps back, walks over to a jar with what looks like another brain inside, does the same thing, and then sits back down at its spot. And the Illithid waves you along and says, "Next."
I'll step forward.
Where do I get my card?
Be patient. And
Okay.
He looks, watches as the process is repeated with each and every one of you. And then he stands up, walks behind through a door in the back, and comes back with a stack of like the crystalline wafer-like cards as he hands them out to each of you, and then says, "Don't lose these. If we have a copy of your intellect already, we don't need another one. And these are personalized cards." And then waves you on. The two brutish-looking mind flayers standing at the door open the double doors and gesture you in.
And thanks, them. No, wait, I'm king.
Yeah. I say thank you very much as I go through the doors.
He gives you a bored wave as he goes back to stamping whatever it was he had been stamping basically every time you've seen him.
Poor guy.
As you
It is
guys
his daily job.
as you guys step through the open doors, and when you first looked through it, it was like darkness. As soon as you step through it, though, it opens up into an absolutely massive library. As in, oh my god, how did this space fit here? Kind of massive. Because as far as you can tell, there doesn't seem to be an actual end to it. And books are flying about, putting themselves on shelves. Others are coming out and then landing on tables where creatures are sitting there reading. And, like, you see another Illithid. This one seems weirdly short compared to the others, that is sitting, thumbing through a absolutely enormous book. But he's, like, immediately through the door. And without looking up, he asked, "What section?"
Oh, we are seeking ancient magic.
He flips a few pages, and then you all feel a sudden lurching as you are rocketed through the library to a spot where a collection of ancient scrolls and tomes are just sitting on the shelves. You do see quite a few disembodied gloved hands with top hats and glowing eyes going around dusting the shelves and adjusting for if any of the scrolls or books settled. What do?
If things go back to normal, I have a plan for how I could take over Equestria. Just take Twilight to this place, and she'll never leave. Huge library, and I could just take her place. That's how that works, right?
I don't think that's going to be that easy.
Yeah.
Alright, well, let's look for some ancient magic.
So do you remember what you're looking for, out of curiosity?
Yeah. So I scan the nearest shelves for anything on,
Sol Tenebris.
Sol Tenebris and or destructive spells.
Okay. Give me just a sec. So you do find a dissertation on the possible use of fireballs, but not fire.
I read I read the first little bit, the part that summarizes at the beginning. What do you call it?
The summary?
Yeah, I read it. Yeah,
You okay there, Satu?
yeah, of course. Why wouldn't I
You see
be?
a little space.
I'm A-okay.
So, you flip through the book, and it is exactly what the title suggests: a dissertation on fireballs, but using different elements. There's an ice version, an acid version. Someone suggested a sonic version, but there's a note inside the book written by someone else saying, "Isn't that just Thunderwave?"
Oh.
That makes sense.
So,
I like that one.
Abstract. That's what I meant. That's the word I was thinking of. Because, they put the abstract on the front of the paper, so like a condensed little version of their findings. Okay, sorry.
so go
That's
ahead.
for research papers.
Yes, this is like an entire book.
Oh, okay, alright.
But go ahead and everybody roll a percentage.
Oh,
Alright.
I'll just do it here.
So,
No, 90. I don't know if that's good or bad.
Hey, 67. That's 2/3.
Oh shoot!
What?
Oh my god.
A D 20,100.
Dice Man's like, please be serious. Okay. So, for both Fair and Cameo, you find a spell of summoning spell. Like it's an entire book that details a summoning spell for an entity whose name has been removed from the book, and it is detailed as something known as the Corruptor.
Ah.
For Cloud,
Okay.
I need you to roll a d12.
Okay.
There's my phone. It was like, I lost it.
I got a 10.
Okay, give me just a sec. I need to grab the specific portion I'm looking for.
So did Cameo and I find the same book or two different ones?
You found two of the same book. Corruptor is Corrupter. Upter. I can spell too.
Can you wave the party over so the rest of us can read?
Hold on just a second. I am double checking to make sure that that one. I have to check and make sure that I'm not about to send you guys something that you've already gotten. Okay, it doesn't look like you've gotten this one yet.
Okay.
Let's see. And I'm going to let Fair read it because Fair is a good dramatic reader.
However, as years passed, her tears lessened, and the miasma grew once more. The goddess for millennia has shed tears for her people. However, her cleric had sensed a great miasma growing and festering in the long-trodden recesses of the kingdom. Seeking to help the tainted king, he sent a great army to expel the darkness from the lands in hopes of returning to the garden.
Seeking the help of the Tainted King.
Seeking
Google.
the help of the tainted king.
It's time to Google miasma, my dudes.
So,
A highly unpleasant or unhealthy smell or vapor.
I know what miasma is.
An oppressive or unpleasant atmosphere which surrounds or emanates from something.
yes. That is what miasma is.
Alright, good. Now I know.
So,
I thought we were talking about the disease, because I can definitely talk
just
about
so
miasma.
you know, you found a badly damaged copy of one of the many scripture books that you've been finding in the churches.
Yeah.
Okay. So
if there's an entry on how to bring back the corruptor, is it what we saw? Can Saw take a look at it and see if he recognizes it as the one the cultist did way back?
So you can roll an intelligence check to compare the two and see how much of it you can put together.
Also, for my search in the library, I rolled a 23.
Yes, I'm getting to yours next
How am I being bapped? Okay, let's see.
because you ballistic.
11.
See, Cameo.
Hello?
The other 66. Okay. So as far as you could tell, they might be the same, but you don't know. They have similar, like, calling cards, essentially.
I didn't go to miasma school or anything. Okay. Let's see.
Well, technically speaking, as a sorcerer, you didn't go to school at all.
Oh yes, I
Exactly.
am unlearned. Thank you.
Sorcerers are the I just woke up magic one day.
I am going to guess that this is the spell that brought Sol Tenebris back. So, is there anything about in here? Because, like, in most places that have spells like this, most places that detail how to make a poison also give you the antidote, right? So, like,
If you would like, you can hold on to one of the books for now. Because this is a library, you can check out the books.
yes, absolutely.
Now,
Also, if I have something from this library, I can teleport there anytime. But really, there's no need, so it's kind of useless. Okay, never mind.
for Page,
Mhm.
you find a spell book, actually. It's not the one you're looking for, and it's in pretty rough condition.
And I can't read it anyways because it's a spell book.
Actually,
That is true.
and this is, you shouldn't speak before the DM does. You can make out some of it. However,
Fair.
it will take further study. So, for ballistic,
Yeah?
you were actually able to find something that mentioned the thing you were looking for.
Ooh.
So, there is mention in this book of an ancient group of heroes that tried to defeat the Tainted King.
Oh.
And
Oh, no.
one of them created a spell that,
Oh?
in order to prevent the spell being lost or misused, he broke it up into constituent pieces to prevent the tainted king from getting a hold of it and using it against them. The component, as far as you can tell, is the spellcaster. But you don't know what that means for the spellcaster, as there isn't enough information in here. But you do know that the spell should be scattered around the citadel in its constituent pieces.
Ooh, I sense an arc.
So,
Ooh.
do you
I call
share this?
I call the rest of the party over and show them what I found.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
I show off the spell book.
Just like, okay, kids, it's talent show time. Show off what you found.
I love show and tell. Yay.
So,
Oh yeah,
I'm
show
going
and tell, not
to-
talent show.
I'm going to go ahead and say we're putting a pin in it here, and you guys can discuss more about it later.
Yeah.
For
Okay.
those of you that may or may not be still watching on the stream,
That
we
was
will
exciting.
be picking this up again next week. If you are interested to see where this is going, I will also note that Tuesday and Thursday we will be having the usual uploads for the Peacemakers highlights and bloopers. And in celebration of mine and Saw's collaboration, we will be doing it mostly about Sawtooth. There will be other moments in there, but it's primarily Sawtooth moments.
It's all me.
So expect a lot of stupidity.
Shush, 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 shush.
And then,
Actually, no more than usual with this party.
I mean,
Yes.
Paige is right, but and then
We're both
Friday, Sawtooth and I will, on Sawtooth's channel, will be doing the collab that we have been teasing for a little while now.
Much
Other than
hype.
that, everybody have a great evening and drink water.
And
Yes.
subscribe, ring the bell to the Nameless one.
Yes.
Again, clip that so we can use it in Equestria Daily.
So,
Drink water. Hydrate, hydrate.